This week in Ken's Tech Lab, we're going to be doing part 2 of the PRUSA MK4 build. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, and we're going to continue with the PRUSA MK4 build. If you remember last episode, I built the entire frame, and that included a couple T-nuts on the inside the frame to attach some things, and I believe we left off on the last episode about ready to do the step 15, which is the PSU. And we're going to do the parts preparation first. So let's get together the parts. So what they're looking for is the Delta PSU 240 watt, 24 volts times 1. And we have that right here. The Delta power supply. Black to match the frame. And we're looking for 2 M3x10 screws. So let's get M3x10. How did I know that would be the other pack of screws that has no no way to seal them back up? I just knew it'd be that. So what we'll do is we'll try to carefully open up this pack so I can leave it in the pack. For somebody that's just joining us, welcome to Ken's Tech Lab, and today we're on the bench and we're building the MK4 by PRUSA, and that's 2 of those, 2 M3x10R screws. Alright. Going down to step 16, attaching the PSU and having the frame in this position that we have it in right now. A little bit over like this so I can see it. We have the 2 T-nuts in here in the frame. And what we're going to do, it says to actually put the screws in the T-nuts now by hand. Just started. Okay, so we have the 2 T-nuts in there, able to move back and forth nice and easily. They call them the M3NE nuts. I'm just used to calling them a T-nut that goes inside the frame. Let's see, take the PSU and place it above the screws. Adjust the nuts so they line up with the grooves. Slide the PSU down into the screws. Screw them in some more, but don't tighten them firmly yet. We need the PSU to be able to move slightly so we can adjust the position in the next step. Okay, so we're going to do that now. We're going to take the PSU and see the position they want it in. They want it with the screws holes, the screw lockdowns pointing out. So there they go, it's in. Then they want us to find the right screwdriver size. Screwdriver at ltt.com. So we'll put this in here. And tighten this up a little bit. Okay. Helps. Let me do this. Let me put a little something to rise this up a little bit so I can get underneath it where the screw is. Okay. Tight, but not too tight. Matter of fact, we'll actually back these off just a hair. Okay, and back this one off just a hair. And we can move them. Okay, but they are on there. All right. Next pictures are the same thing. They have 3 pictures with the same, showing the screws and the location of them. All right. Now it says look at the frame, and it wants me to get insert M4 by 10R screws into the holes in the frame towards the front of the PSU. Okay, so they are M4 by 10s. And we'll find those screws. M4 by 10, 3 pieces, 1 spare. So there's 2 screws here specifically for this part. All right, get these out. Let's see if it's the same size. It is. Excellent. So let me turn this around. And you see these screws actually have a bigger head on them due to the fact that they're going to be going through the frame, and they wanted to make sure that they weren't pulled through. So we're going to actually let's pull this back out again because I need to see the hole. Let's see where this is. It's up just a hair. So what we're going to do is it should be, there we go. Okay. Now that should give us the second screw going in on the bottom straight in without any issues, which it does. Because the holes that they have here for these screws to go in are countersunk, causing the screw to actually put the correct height into going into the power supply. So that is secured. And I bet you that after this they want us to actually tighten the 2 screws below, which they do. now that we put in the 2 side screws. Let me put this back in the bag so we don't lose that one. And then put this back over here, lift it up a little bit. And 1 screw. All right, 2 screws. Power supply is in and tight. So, let's see if I can get this in the camera. What we did was down in here there are 2 screws, here and here, that are holding this bottom part. And on the very top of here, there are 2 screw holes. Let's see if I can find them. Here and here, that the other 2 screws are holding it in. Okay. So what else do we need to make a printer besides just a power supply? Okay, step 18, if you're following along with us, it's going to be the X-Buddy Box part preparation. So let's get out the Buddy Box. I believe I found the Buddy lid. And I found the Buddy box. So it looks like this Buddy box is metal. The last one from PRUSA, the MK3, the MK3 Plus, and I believe the S also had a plastic box that held the main board in. So we have this out. One Buddy box located in the box, blah, 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 with the plastic parts, a thermal pad, 2 millimeters times 1, and a thermal pad 12 by 12 by 2 times 2. So there's 2 thermal pads that I'm going to need. So let's find them now. And I don't think they're going to be in with the plastic parts. I'd be surprised. Okay, 1 thermal pad, 40 by 12 by 2. 2 thermal pads, 12 by 12 by 2, 2 millimeters, that's what I need. And this bag also has the information of the bag and the correct size of the pad that we need to actually grab out of here to use. So you know which ones to get because they have them all in one box. So we do need the thermal pad 40 by 12 by 2. And this is the 12 by 40 by 2. And that's going to be right there. We need 1 of them, and we need the 12 by 12 by 2. There's also a 25 by 25 by 1, and that's them. So let's get out 2 of those. All right. So we have 3 pads. They also want an M3 by 6 times 9 screws. That's not, these are the M3 by 10s. M3 by 6. We need 9 of these. So this is another one of those packages that are not resealable. And this one comes with 22 pieces in the bag and 2 spare pieces out of this. So let's make this where we can actually sort of seal it to keep them in. Okay, let's take out 9. It's 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, perfect. 9. 9 spilled out. We need M3 by 10 times 2. Remember, we just used those a few minutes ago. And they're just a little bit bigger than these M3 by 6s. Just a little bit. Okay. Okay, so we have the preparation for the box. We have the box, thermal pad 40 by 12, thermal pad 12 by 12, 3 by 6 screw 9, and 3 by 10 2. And then they give you a list of all the parts that they've listed there, the actual pictures of all the parts. Okay, so what they want now is the buddy board, the X buddy board, which is sitting right next to me. All right, we're going to make sure that we're touching metal. Make sure that we have nothing, no static on our hands. And here's the X buddy board by PRUSA. Okay. The back of it. Okay, so it says for the following steps, please prepare the X buddy board ×1. Always touch the sides of electronics board while manipulating it. So like I said, touch some metal. They want zip ties ×4 and the X holder. The X holder. So zip ties ×4. All right, we found the zip ties, and where they were located was in the bottom of the plastic parts box. So yeah, we have a pack of zip ties. Now, we still have one more tool to find. And do you think it's put in with the rest of the tools? No, of course not. So we have the parts, zip ties, and we need 4 of them. Does this come in a real resealable bag? I doubt it. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zip ties. The rest is in the back. We don't need it right now. All right, we need, this is called an X holder. Let me see if I get it back in here. So we're going to see what that does. Okay. We'll put this forward a little bit so we can bring the actual into view. So on the opposite side of the power supply, so the power supply is over here, and power supply is right there. Let's adjust this camera up a little bit, as things have to be closer to me. All right, can you still see that? Yes, the power supply is right there. And across on the power supply, we're going to be working right here with the buddy holder. And they wanted to go through 4 holes, but there's holes all over the place in here. And it wants to make sure that you get the correct ones. So there's 2 on the bottom and 2 in the bottom. So there's screw holes that go all the way through. The rest of these are just like little holes on here. Insert the 4 M x 6 screws. So I'm just trying to get a good look on where these are. So here is the small end. It's up from there to the first 2 sets. So I would say put it on my screwdriver and then get it in there. So these are screwing in to the frame, not coming out the other side. They're just screwing in to give you the screw head to hold in the rest of it, I guess you would. So it wants you to skip 2 screws and then go up 2 more and put them in there. Okay. And one more. What it looks like is that something's going to be just sitting against these, not really holding it, but just kind of using it as a you know, something to go inside something else, so it's not sagging over there. Okay, so what it wants me to do is put them in all the way to clean the threads out, then bring them back out again. So maybe there is something that's going to stick in here and go down on these. So let's put these back out. Back out. All right, they're all out. Now, it says insert 2 M x3x10 screws into the M3. Oh, okay. So those 2 are going to go in the same way that the power supply went into on the very bottom. Let's put this away so it doesn't get hurt. And we're going to slide these over. Put the 2 M x3x10s in the holes of the T-nuts. Okay, they're in. So here's what we've done so far. Over on this side, we've put 4 screws here, 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 and here. Those screws actually went right into the metal. No nuts or nothing. They just screw right into the metal. What they wanted to do is screw all the way back in so it would clean out any burrs in the metal punch outs that they did. Then on this side where the other 2 T-nuts are, here and here, slide it over, they want us to put the 2 M3x10s in there, and we'll probably slide everything down on top of everything and then tighten it up. Sorry, I can't put you right in front of me where I can, where you can see everything. I have to see it to be able to actually get the screws in there, and I don't have a camera that goes straight up and down yet. I will say yet. All right, we put the 2 M3x10s in, the hex nuts. Now what do we need to do? Mounting the buddy box. Attach the buddy box on the M3x10 screws in the extension. Do not tighten the screws at this moment. Slide the buddy box to the frame. Attach the buddy box to all 4 screws in the frame. The screws must fit into the top part of the keyhole. See details. That's what I thought it was going to be. Okay, with the open buddy box, it's going to go with the top part here with the metal cover up like this. These 2 notches are going to slide into the 2 T-nuts, and the 4 on this side, there's 4 of the sliding holes. So what we need to do is all together put them in the T-nuts, make sure the T-nuts are in the right locations for them. Without tightening them down, come over here, slide it all in, make sure all 4 of them are down, and voila, we're in. Fully tighten all M3x6 screws. Okay. Now, with this screwdriver, that's easier said than done. So we will actually be getting out our Allen wrenches so we can do this. See if I get the right one right off. I did, good. All right, so we have to go inside the box. And this is going to take a little while. I will probably skip this over with the camera so you guys don't have to deal with this part of it, of screwing these little screws into the side. The outside screws are no big deal. You can tighten them up. Stop the rest of it from moving around when but getting them is not as easy. Only one more to go. All right, they're tight. Now, let me tighten it does not say to tighten the 2 M3x10s. Now it does. Fully tighten both M3x10 screws in the M3NE nuts. So we're going to do that now. Okay. All right, the box is fully on there. So there's the box. It is screwed into the side. And then the two bottom ones. Okay, what is next? Did all that. Apply the thermal pads. Peel off the white protected layer from all thermal pads. Don't get your grubby fingers on them, it says. Attach the pads onto the back of the buddy board. Okay. So the buddy board actually has places in here that shows you where to put each one of the pads. That is really smart, not just for a kit, but also your employees if you were, when they put them together there. That is very cool. So we're going to take off the white strips. What else are we doing with this? We're going to put them on the board, but leave the blue ones on for now. And I'll put them right in the spaces. And what that's going to probably do is transfer heat off of the chips. Here we go with the other one right in there. I did get out one wrong one for this pad. So let me get the pad box or the bag back out. I think I buried it when I was looking for some of these other pieces that I couldn't find. There it is. And let me put the big square one back and get out .40 by 12 by 2 and put back the 25 by 25 one. Okay, let's go back to the board here. I was saying, logistically, this makes their job of training new employees a lot easier, having things kind of pointing out to them saying, hey, they go right here. And also stopping a lot of unnecessary support calls coming into them saying, hey, we couldn't get it on there. All right, all these are in. And now it wants us to take off the blue part. And put that I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope, didn't miss anything. Just went back on the instructions a little bit to make sure I did not miss anything. So we're going to take off the blue. If you ever put in a M.2, you'll know they usually, a lot of them will have a one of these on them to transfer heat, especially if you do like the Xbox or the PlayStation, I mean, and put in your own M.2 in it. All right. It wants us to turn this over on its side, so right like this. Okay, I think that you're going to get a good view of that. It wants us to put the board in where the holes line up. And then put the 5 screws in. So, I want to make sure I got this on or situated correctly. Okay. So we're going to put this in here, just like this. Situate. You would think that the holes would go just like that. And there they are. And this is line up the holes. And then take your screws. Find the, fully tighten the screws. Okay. Okay, I'm not tightening them all the way down. I've learned from many motherboards, never tighten them all the way down until you have the corners done, because more than likely something is not going to be right. Tell you one thing, most of their holes that they have and the places to put screws, there's no burrs at all. These screws have been going in by hand really easy. Whoever's doing the machine shop work is doing an excellent job. Okay. One of my screws ran away somewhere under something. I'll just get another one of these out. Probably all the moving around again. I probably threw it underneath all the tools here. Let's get one of these out. Comes with 2 extra. One thing really different about this board than the board on the MK3, and I know this one has different electronics on it, like it has Wi-Fi and stuff like that, but it comes with a CMOS battery, and I haven't, which is right there, and I have not seen that in a 3D printer board, so that's a lot different. Alright, the PRUSA board is in. We have the RJ45 connector right there for network, USB, I believe it's USB-C. That's over here. And so I didn't lose a screw. There's supposed to be nothing in this one area right here. All right, I was just getting too anxious. I wanted all the screws in there. All right, that's all done, that's all done, that's all done. All right. Let's sit back down, grab your favorite drink. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, it really helps us out. Leave a comment if you have any questions about this. I pretty much put as much information and all the pictures into it from the manual into these build when we get to the bench. Alright, now it's zip ties time. That's going to be fun, right? Everybody loves zip ties time. So what do they want? They want to take a closer look at the buddy box. There are 4 protrusions on the metal case. So if you put it on the PSU side, you can see them better. I see them just fine. There's 4. They're correct. 1, 2, 3, 4 for these. One here, 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 and here, where they want the zip ties to go in. And they want the zip ties to go in using the handy dandy new tool. This is a zip tie helper. Alright, so we're supposed to take this tool, put it next to the board, stick the zip tie in, it's supposed to stay up on its little thing, which of course, good luck with that. And pull it through. How do I just push it down a little bit more, get a little bit more out, and there we have a zip tie in. Now, did we need a tool for that? No. But I will use the tool. It is in their request. You know, we don't want them to not to make something new and then, oh, we don't use it. That would be rude. Unless it's harder to use the tool than it would be to use a pair of pliers or needle nose, for that matter. Which work 10 times faster than that. There's 4 of these. Now the ones that it works good on are the ones that you actually have the space to go in there and get them by hand anyways. Okay, one more. Because nothing wants to go in like you think it's going to go in, no matter how many notches you put on it. I think I need to change out this one right here. I don't think it's going to go through. It might, but just to play it safe, I'll put a new one in there. That's the one I did grab with the pliers, by the way. Only because there's a screw right there. Oh, that one actually worked as intended. So I'm not going to poo-poo all over that tool. All right, it's in there. All four. You can see here, 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 and here. We have four ready to bundle wires. You know, it's no fair. Episode 2 here on building this Prusa. And we still haven't got no gummies yet. It's terrible. Okay, we'll set this back up the right way. Now it's time to prepare the white belt idler, or the Y belt idler. This idler looks exactly like the MK3 idler. So we need the Y belt idler, which I believe is in the same. Let's see, what do we need? Plastic part. There we go. These parts include the Y belt idler, the Y motor holder, and the X holder, which we've used the X holder to get the zip ties out. So the only thing we need out of this is this one part right here. And if you guys watched my other videos on the PRUSA clone build, I printed all these plastic parts for that one. I actually purchased the PRUSA filament to print them out. Okay, we have the idler. We need M3 by 10 screws, 2 of them. M3 by 10. This is the biggest pack of screws. We need 1, 2. And what else do we need? We need M3 and S nuts, 2 of them. That is the square nut. I don't know why they just can't say square nut. They need 2 square nuts, or M3NS. 39 pieces in this bag, Again, they could have put all these into resealable little bags, but they decided to make some of these permanently sealed. So, need 2 of these nuts. And then we get to do the wonderful job of pushing the nuts into the plastic. That's 3, that's 1 too many. Getting it out of the bag was a lot easier than getting it back in the bag. How many extras do we get of these? 2. Okay. We have everything that it wants on here. Let's put them in the plastic. We have one that's going to go on the very top, right here, and on the very bottom, right here. And these just slide in the little square areas that they have for these things. I usually use my cutters to push these in, and there it goes. And let's put the second one in. And it goes all the way in, and it should be fine. How you can test these is once you put the square nut inside, if you go in to it, because all these are going to actually screw in, they should screw right into the nut, which they do. A little test before you put it on there. So it's just telling you to put it in both sides, and then it's telling you to put it this way into the hole. And get this. Now you don't want it tight if you're putting in 2 opposite, because you might have to move it around a little bit to get it in there. And in. And in. Excellent. Okay, so now it's on step 29. Right now, I just checked the video and we're right at an hour, maybe a little over an hour of this video. And I wanted to know in the comments if you would like to have this as a longer per video in the series, or is the 1 hour cutoff just good, and it's just the right amount of time to take this build in without getting bored out of your mind or can't watch through it. Let me know in the comments, and I can adjust the video length of, well, how much I talk or how much I build with your comments. So I'm going to continue just a little bit longer since we're at an hour, and I'm going to take step 29, which is actually assembling the Y motor part preparation. Step 30 is assembling the Y motor, And yeah, we have the Y motor holders. We're almost down to gummies. I mean, we're really close. Gummies is part 34, and we're at part 29. So let's rock on a little bit, huh? All right, going back to that same bag. We're gonna get the Y motor assembly, and we don't need this bag anymore. That's gone. So we have this part. They also need that square pad, that one that I had a mistake about earlier. They want that out for this. So this, cool, I call them cool pads because they actually transfer the heat very, very well. They want 3 M3 by 18. M3 by 18, those gotta be long ones. M3 by 40, a little too long. M3 by 30s, still too long. M3 by 18 times 3. This is not the pack. This pack is for filament guide fasteners. M3 by 16. Oh, we're getting close. All right, we need 3 of these. And see, this is what doesn't make sense. This is on a reusable lock bag. I don't know why all of them could not be in this kind of a bag. PRUSA, if you're watching, that is one thing please change. I don't think the bag differences then it's going to cost you anything else. Okay, we got 3 of these. I will reseal this bag now so they don't fall out and put them in the side. We need M3 by 10 screws times 2. M3 by 10. Two. And 2 of the square nuts. Remember, we decided to call these square nuts like they are. If I would have left that other one out that fell out of the bag, I would only have to get 1. Look at that, 1 second out, and I almost lost it. It's right here. All right, 2 square nuts are out. Okay, assembling the Y motor. They want the Y motor. Let's go to the motor box and grab the Y motor. All right, I found the Y motor right here. It's a beast of a motor. These are a lot heavier, I believe, than the MK3 were. Original PRUSA on the back. Okay. And nicely clipped on the actual wire says Y, so you know where to put it in. It says Y axis on the back. They want to make sure that you have the right motor. And they also want you to have the pulley. It's the GT2-16 pulley. And that I've been leaving just laying around here. In the bag because, well, it's the last thing in this bag and it's all been for around the same area putting together. So there's another bag gone. And this has the two screws on it, one for the flat part of the motor spindle to make sure it doesn't rotate. Okay. We are taking one of these square nuts and putting it into the little notch that's there for the square nut. My needle nose is the best ones to push this in out of all of them, and make sure that you get it all the way down so it is locked in. One thing you don't want to do is fight with the screws later. Alright, that is in there. The second one goes, the first one went on the back right here, and the other one goes on the side right here. So 2 square nuts. Okay. Now what it wants. With this, one's a flat area. Okay, so you always have to make sure that you get the orientation correctly for the motor. Just not the orientation to like line up the screw holes, but also the orientation of where they want the wire to come out. So if you have 3 holes and an open, you want to make sure that the wire is coming out in the location where they want it, so when you run the wires you're not having to backtrack around. This is going to be the M3x18 screws, and they did put a place so the screw heads are not poking out. So I'm going to push them all the way through so I can get this lined up. Okay, again, don't screw it all the way down. We need to move it around so we can get the other screws in there. You're just going to push them down until they hit the motor. Okay. The third one, push it down through the plastic, and then you should be able to screw it right in. Now that you have all the screws down, you can go ahead and tighten the rest of them. Excellent. All right, we have the holder in place. Now they show the shaft of the motor, which is coming through this piece right here. And they're showing the flat end, and they want it sticking out where you can see it. They want you to take the what do they call it here? Pulley shaft. So the pulley shaft you would think would go like this with the small part and the nut on the prongs like going up, but no, it goes upside down. I think it's upside. It looks upside down, and they want it to go in like that with the at least one of the screws on the flat part, So what we're going to do is we're going to need another one of the, just bring out all these Allen keys, Allen wrenches, so we can find out which one actually goes in here. I'm sure it's going to be a small one. Is it this one? It is. So what I normally do on here is put this down, and it's on the flat part. Make sure it's not on a corner. Hold it, and then take this where you can put it in a little bit. You're just going to screw it down, but you still don't want to screw it down all the way. You want to be able to still move this. And what they want you to do is move this up and make sure that it is lined up across the top like that. So I'm going to have to set this down so I can get another one here. Bring this to the top. And then you can tighten it all the way down. Now don't forget to spin it around, because there is another screw in here. And you need to tighten that other screw also. Alright, we have two screws that are now down on that center axis of the motor. Okay. If you want to, you can go back and put this across again. Make sure that you're in the right level. And it's ready to go. So we have everything attached, and it's ready to go onto the printer. Alright, so that square pad that I have, this motor, they're going to give it a way to get rid of some of its heat. If I get rid of the tab. So what they want is on the motor itself, they want that pad over this part of the motor. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the motor. Just like that, not taking off the blue. All right. So on the opposite end of the printer, so I'm going to turn this around. From the forward pulley assembly, we are going to put this with this going forward like this going toward that like that. We're going to take the other screws that we have Usually it's something simple like your square nut, in this case, was not all the way into the hole where the screw needed to get to. And once we get into the other nuts that have to be put in, not just the square nuts, which I do like them the best, find out that those pop off or are not correct. A lot of them want you to use a screw to pull them down. Alright, that motor is nice and tight. It is the correct orientation, and the wire is sitting right there. Alright, check the picture to make sure we have everything like it's supposed to be, which it does look like that. And we made it to candies. And how many candies do I get for this work? They want you to do work on the candies too by actually splitting them up, but I'm not going to do that. We get to have 5 gummy bears. 5. Out of this bag, we get 5. Take them, open them up. Since this is a brand new printer, these should be nice and fresh. So we're going to put out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll take one more red one. 5. There we go. We're going to eat our gummies. So I hope everybody enjoyed today's episode, building the PRUSA MK4. And we're going to continue with this every week until this is built. I really want to see this up and running and put it against the MK3 eventually. I want to see if its shaping is actually turned on. It's in beta right now, and how well it's going to come out, and how well the prints are on this. So keep on watching the channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. And like always, stay awesome.